Hello, and welcome to the Mama Jack podcast. Today we have Heather. Heather is a single mother of 6 children. That's right, I said 6 children. She is a true superwoman, and I can't wait for you guys to hear about her journey. So let's jump right in. Okay, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Thank you so much for doing this for me.
No problem.
Okay, so where do you want to get started? I just wanted to kind of ask you some questions from the beginning. Okay, cool. So I just wanted to start by saying, you have kids. How many kids do you have?
I have 6 children, 4 that I'm responsible for.
Okay.
But I say pretty much 6.
Okay. And how old were you when you had your first kid?
20.
You were 20 when you had your first kid.
Yes.
And
well, 2. They were 2 twins.
Oh, twins at 20. Oh my God. Okay. So were you doing this with somebody else? Did you have a partner at the time?
No, just what you call baby dad.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So did you have help from your family at all? What did that look like for you?
My parents, they helped me. Like my mom and dad, they would take shifts, like staying up with the kids so that I could sleep a little bit because it was a little chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the hospital, they were on the same schedule. Then when one went home earlier than the other, they got on 2 different schedules. So that was like a little bit overwhelming.
Oh God, I
Especially
can't
when
imagine.
you're young.
Yeah. Right? Like that age, it's like, oh my God, that's like the age where you're like up partying, not up taking kids.
Yes, it was
Or taking care of kids. Yes.
It was a big change because I was a party girl. Yes, I was.
Yes. So how old were they when you had your third?
God, it was 2006 I had my other one, so like 22, 23. I had my son because I definitely wanted a boy because I had 2 girls to begin with. But me and his dad, like, it wasn't like he wasn't there to help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, you're left with 3 kids on your own.
Yes. Not totally alone because I still had like my parents, they helped me out immensely.
Yeah. Well, that's amazing to have that around. At the time, were you a part of any like groups that helped you or like financially? How did that all work out for you?
It was like welfare working and my parents.
Yeah.
Like no lie. It wasn't like you get on Team Mom.
Yeah.
Millions. Which would have been nice.
Well, I mean, and 3 kids, like to get a job with 3 kids, like that's really hard, especially when they're that young because they were pretty close in age then,
Yeah, they are. My oldest 3, they're like right behind each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then my other 3 are younger.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So were the first 3, were their dads in their life at all? Did you have any type of joint custody or was it all you?
We didn't have joint custody because my first baby dad, the one that my twins belonged to, he moved on with his life and he was with someone else, and that was like his like family. We would go back and forth for a bit until like it was just done. Like we just weren't like friends, cool, or anything. And after I had my son, I moved out of state.
Yeah.
Now his father, he didn't really want anything to do with him.
Mm-hmm.
Later on in life, like when they go to jail and they want, like something to believe in,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So that was probably difficult for your son.
It was very difficult. Like he wanted like his dad in his life. And now that he's 17, they have a little bit. Now that he's 17, his dad is out of prison. So like he'll send him like Nikes, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's like his parenting style. Like he'll like try to like talk to him like they're like friends or whatever. And my son's just like he wants to bond with his father, but like it's that lost time.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, but mom's been there like holding it down.
Yeah.
But some people are ready to parent and some people are not. You just have to be at the point that you want to parent. Like, I
Yeah.
would recommend having kids without like support because it affects your kids. Like, when I was younger, I really didn't think about that part. Like, you don't care. You'd be like, I can do this. Like, they
Yeah.
don't need the father, but they do need that balance.
Mm-hmm.
It really, yeah, they need that.
Well, do you think that your dad was able to step into that role a little bit since you said your parents were helping out a lot?
Yeah, my dad was always there, like, so my son had like a like a father like ish figure, but it still
Mm-hmm.
doesn't replace like your parents. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, it doesn't fill that void.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds like a lot of work for you at a very young age. After how long was the gap between your next kid then?
It was a while.
Yeah.
I didn't have my next kid until 2011. I had my daughter.
Okay.
And that's when, like, I got married 2009.
Mm-hmm.
Lasted until 2012 when I had my second son.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a pretty big jump.
Yeah. Yeah. And how was that whole process for your other three kids? Like the whole marriage and, him coming in and then going back out. And how did you feel in all that? Because that's a lot of emotion to take on, like it's like you trust somebody enough to bring them in your life to be around your kids. And then something happens and they leave again. And it's like, dang, that's like, that had to have been tough on you.
It definitely was. Like, I think, like, I wanted to like get married. I wanted like that marriage thing for my kids. I wanted like, that whole like having someone there. But
Yeah.
that's not always the flex.
Yeah.
Like, you have to
Yeah.
find the right person when you bring them into a dynamic, like when you have kids with other people, or you just have like a kid, like someone might just have like one with a previous other partner. But like, they were young when I got with him, but he wasn't like a good man. He was very abusive and he needed to go. I was like, I would have thought about it a little bit better
Mm-hmm.
before I got into a situation like that. Like, you need to move slow.
Yeah.
Like, you really have to like get to know the person before you bring them in that dynamic, because kids, they really need a good person, especially if their biological is not available in the picture, no matter
Yeah.
what the situation is. Like, you have to worry about who you bring in the dynamic. And being young, we don't always, I don't know if people admit it, it does make me look good in a good life, but like, you don't think about those variables until you get a little bit older. Like, I'm almost in my 40s. I'll be 40 this year. So
Mm-hmm.
a lot growing up and looking back at past mistakes, I don't want any of my children to like make those mistakes. I want them to take their time
Yeah.
and get to know themselves before they bring anybody into the world, or get in like a serious relationship with someone. You really have to know yourself. You have to be settled and stable if you
Yeah.
want a good family life.
Yeah.
Not
And I
saying
mean,
you're gonna have like the best family life. The world's not perfect. We're not perfect. So
mhm.
you know, stuff's gonna happen.
Yeah, but I mean, even at that time, like I hope you gave yourself a little bit of grace because having kids so young and then you were still young in 2011, like you were still in your 20s, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, I believe you don't really truly start to grow up until your 30s. I believe that when you have a kid, that boosts it a little bit, but still, like, I'm sure he wasn't like that at the beginning, and people can put on a front that like you don't understand until it's too late sometimes,
Definitely. I'm sorry.
You're okay. We're moms. We got babies. We got everything in the background. I love it. So that was 2011. So we got 2 more kids happening, right? So when did the
So
next kid come?
2012 I had my son
Mm-hmm.
by my husband, and we got
Mm-hmm.
divorced that same year.
Yeah.
Because he didn't even show up to like the birth of his son.
Oh
Like
my
he was
God.
busy entertaining someone else.
Oh Jesus.
But it was time to get rid of him. It was like a death, even though it was like a bad person, like he was like abusive. He wasn't in his right frame of mind. Like he had issues.
Yeah.
And it felt like, I don't know, like when I got my divorce, even though like it was weight off my shoulders, like he's gone, like you don't have to deal with that toxicity, it still hurt.
Yeah.
Like divorce sucks, even if you are getting rid of someone you probably should. It still hurts. Like
Yeah.
it feels like a failure. So I'm just like, okay, I'm back, like being alone or whatever. Like I had like other relationships between that time, but nothing like serious. I vowed like never to get married again. And then I met my son's father, and I was like, oh well, you know what, he might be my soulmate.
Mhm.
But again, like I don't know, like if I have a thing for nurturing like felons, or you know what I mean, like broken men. Like
Yeah.
I even like read up on that. I'm like, man, God, if you want me to be a probation officer, just let me know. Because that's what it seems like I'm doing here.
Yeah.
And I got with him. He's still like, he's finding himself. He has like a good heart, but he's still like, he's finding himself. So like
Yeah.
right now I'm just in like a point of, do I stay in this, or do I just, raise the rest of my children? And if God wants me to like be with someone who's like the person I'm supposed to be with, that's like stable, then so be it. But like right now I'm just like, why would you? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My son is in here like passing gas. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I didn't even hear it.
Life is a 2 year. And he's laughing about it, like throwing me off. But like right now I'm like in like a hiatus there. I'm like, okay, girl, you're 40, like you're gonna be 40 this year. Let's get it together. You have a good like job opportunity, like to go back in the field that you've been in. Do you just crank down? Because you cannot make someone grow up. You only have control over yourself.
Mhm.
And the kids have been through like enough that it's just time that we live and catch flights, not feelings. Not to be like mean, because I know like if my child's father listens to the podcast later, he'll be like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be mean, but like at a certain point you're so drained of like trying to help people. I can only like help myself, and I cannot push him to be the person I need him to be. Like
Yeah.
he's either going to do it, and I believe like if you're going to be with someone down the line, that it will work out.
Yeah. You're fine. That was, you have all boys and 2 girls then?
I have 3 girls
Okay.
and 3 boys, so it's like an even number.
So was your last baby's a little girl?
It's a boy.
Oh, wait. So where's the other girl? You had twin girls, and then
After my son, who's 17, I had another girl.
Okay.
Like I have
Okay.
a girl and a boy with my ex-husband. And then I have the twins, and then I have my 17-year-old and then my 2-year-old.
So what does your house look like? Like, that's insane. Like, it's you and 6 kids, or are your 2 oldest ones now? How old are they now?
They're 18, they'll be 19 this
Okay.
year.
Okay. So are they still in the house and like working
Yes.
or going to school?
It is chaotic because everybody, like, we always think, okay, my life's going to get so much easier. I graduated 2 at one time. They're 18. They're like, I'm done of raising them.
Yeah.
Not the case, people. Don't believe it. You're still like, you're gonna be raising your kids like forever.
Yeah.
Until like they move on and be like successful. Right now they're trying to find themselves like I was at 18, 19. The one, she's trying to do childcare, so I'm okay with her doing that. I really think she should be a cosmetologist. Because like, I don't know, I just feel that's her niche, but she wants to be with childcare. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, you don't really like, they're not too engaged with your own like siblings. Like, they get on your last nerve. We're talking about like dealing with other people's children, and you really have to be careful with them. So I'm just like, okay, I'll support you in that. So she's like completed her 45. She just has to test out, because down here in Florida, you have to have 45 hours and then you can work in childcare. So I'm supporting that.
Yeah.
My other daughter, she wants to be a nurse.
Nice.
So we have to get her started with that. But they like to party. So like my house can be chaotic. You'd be like, hey, don't come in late at, you know, like 1 or 2 in the morning, because like I have my other kids sleep. So it's like a balancing of, hey, we're adults, we can do whatever we want. No, you can't. You still live under my roof.
Yeah.
Unless you like get your own place, we have to come to some type of agreement. Because even at 39, I can't just do anything I want at my parents' house. They have like curfew if you stay over there, even at 39, crazy. That if you stay out, you're out for the night.
Yeah.
Like, I'll see you in the morning.
Yeah.
But that still has that 11:30, but mind you, he was the principal, so
yeah.
Yeah, strict parents.
Yes. Well, you moved from Pennsylvania, right, to Florida.
Good old state of Florida.
And so your parents, I'm assuming, are still in Pennsylvania, right?
No, they have 2 houses. So they have between.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Okay. That's awesome. So you still have their support till this day.
Yes. But they're like snowbirds. They spend like here and time up in Pittsburgh. They get out of Pittsburgh when it gets cold. I don't blame them.
Yeah.
I hate it cold.
Yeah, it's like horrible. That's why I can't go back there because of that.
Yeah, but I miss the people up there. Like, Florida's is a different type of animal. We have like the craziest things. When you see something crazy, you know it's in Florida. Believe it. So it's not like Pittsburgh. I don't know. I just feel at home in Pittsburgh, but I just can't take the cold.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel the same way. It's such a cute city, but I mean, yeah, I couldn't. The cold is just too, like, even in Georgia, it gets cold for like 2 months, and that's like the most I can take.
Right. So, you guys are right next door.
Yeah. That's it. Okay, I'm done now with the cold. So you have children from 18 to, I think, 3. Is that what you said your youngest is?
He'll be 3.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So do they help with each other? Does that kind of give you a little break?
They do. My daughters, they will babysit. They will help out. They're not the cleanliest. Like, it's like a struggle when like you keep your house a certain way, and with like 6 children, it can get messy. And I am on to them about the rooms. Like, I like it a certain way. I like it to be clean. I like the rest of my house to be clean. So we do have like a, hey, you need to clean up behind yourself. Like, pick up behind yourself. You're adults. Like, I should not have to come home from work and still clean.
Yeah.
And I still, like, girl, I'm still doing, like, the dishes cleaning, still doing their laundry, folding it up, putting it back in their closet. Like, they do need to, like, get onto that.
Yeah.
Adults, hello.
But geez, like,
that for me.
For like what you've gone through and how many kids you have and how young you were when you had your kids, it doesn't, like, you don't make it seem like such a struggle. You know, how did
like,
you get through it all?
Girl, our water had just one got turned off. Like, you have to, if you need help, like any single moms, do not let anybody like put you down. As long as you are like trying to help your situation, you're trying to better yourself, you're trying to go to school, whatever, work, take full advantage of the support that you can get, even if you don't have family. Join support groups, ladies groups, like entrepreneur groups that like try to uplift you like out of your situation. You're going to need welfare. There's nothing wrong with taking it. Just don't make sure you want to lift off of it.
Yeah.
But if you do need help, your lights get cut off. Heck, we're all in the same situation right now. Wages are not equaling rent.
Yeah.
Especially like the southern states. I don't know what it is up north, but like the rent is through the roof and you're only making $11, $12 an hour.
Yeah.
So you do need the food stamps. You do need the help, the different church organizations that will help you with your lights and stuff. Do not be ashamed to take advantage, to actually accept the help. Accept any help that you can get. Like if you can't afford something, there's like bartering. Like I belong to a group of women, like these are rich ladies down here, and they be getting rid of everything. Do whatever you can to help your situation. Like seek out scholarships. They have young mothers where they'll help you with like daycare, schooling. Do not look at it like, hey, I'm such a failure, because you know what? To fail, you're going to succeed some way. Don't stay down. Don't allow people to say, oh, well, you should have your legs shut up. You're a breeder, whatever. All kinds of like derogatory things that they like try to say to young mothers. Hey, we're in our situation. Keep pushing. Like I literally, like just recently, my job, they cut my hours down to like barely anything. Me and my daughter, we both work at the same place, and I substitute. I do notary, and it's hard. Our water had got cut off. We had to go half and half on it just to get it back on. And I got an opportunity to go into airlines. Couldn't get my passport. My parents were like, oh my God, we've been helping you forever, Heather. Like, this is going to take you like away from your kids. And I'm like, yo, this is the only like situation that is really like happening for me. I have to take this situation. So luckily one of my friends gave me the money to get my passport. So my kids are going to help me out while I'm out of the house for about like, I'm trying to say it'd be like 26 days that we have to do training. But it's going to help us. If I pass training, God willing, we'll be able to travel wherever we want.
Nice.
It's not that flight attendants make a whole lot of money, because they do not. The offset is that you have good travel benefits. Healthcare is great. Now, I'm going to have to still substitute or work at the retail store, like bounce between those two to do whatever I need to do and still support my kids to go to college. And I still have one that's get ready to come out of high school, and then I'm going to have like a whole big jump. So that helps. And he said he's going to move out. We'll see like how that's going to work out, because the way that it looks out there with rent, it's like $1,000 some, at least down south, just for a 1-bedroom. Like I think like 1,500. 4 bedrooms are like 2,000. And unfortunately enough, I have one that's 1,800 right now. Don't know right now how they're going to do with our rent. Are they going to raise it? And then I have to find another place. So that's the instability. But I think my patience and dependence on God has helped me through, because in some instances you'd be ready to pull your hair out, and then you look at like the shows that they show people like Teen Mom, these millionaires, they're pulling up in their Denali's, whatever. And they're just like, yeah, I have baby daddy problems, same as me, like dating like felons, whatever, and they're prospering. And I'm just like, they need to show the real reality. That it's not always like that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there was a whole thing about Teen Mom being aired that was showing like actual teen pregnancies starting to go up, and how it wasn't like, you know,
doing any good for teenage girls because it showed such a different, it wasn't a lot of real situations that happen to people. Like a lot of times when people become teen moms, their parents will kick them out completely, and they have nothing. And it's really sad. So like when you look at some of these situations, it's just like, it's Hollywood.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. It's Hollywood. Some people take it too seriously. Most of it is like, it's all a fraud, and it's like, yeah, you want to show the glamorous side, but what's the reality of that? Like, what's the, teen mom that's coming home with no support that, has to work, that has to put her kid in daycare? Kid gets sick, she has to not go to work, maybe they fire her because she's missing too, you know what I mean? It's like so not realistic to actual life.
That's another thing. Yes. That is a big thing, like, too. If your kid gets sick, not all daycare is like, because of the rules and regulations down here, it's called DCF. It could be child youth, whatever, that regulate childcare. You cannot always have your kid go to the daycare, and your employer doesn't always have to let you out. So you have that. And if you don't have like a way, I'm fortunate to have my parents that, hey, if all goes bat hell crazy, they will step in to help me. I could not fathom, like, if I didn't have their support. Like, we don't always see eye to eye, but I could not imagine like a person that did not even have like a person that they can like lean on.
Yeah.
And you have to worry about that because daycare is very expensive. Like, I go through the ELC, so my cost is like $5.75 a week. Okay. But like, it goes off your wages or whatever. But the thing is, let's say your job cuts down your hours. Even that $5.75 could be a problem.
Yeah.
So with the way that they show some things, like, you have to like show the good, the bad, and the ugly. Childcare is expensive. Your employer could get rid of you. Like, now in the days, since you can work at home, that's the flex. If you can work at home and you're a single parent, do that. Like, they're paying more than going into the office now. So
yeah,
I would utilize that. If you can't get childcare, that would be what I would do, is, if you can, is work from home.
Yeah.
Like, do whatever you can.
Yeah. Have you thought about when your, kids want to leave, instead of having them leave, making them like, quote, pay rent and only take like a small portion and take half of it to actually help you pay your rent and save the other half for them whenever they like go and get their own place?
They do help out with rent.
Okay.
They definitely do.
Okay. Well, that's so sweet of them too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely, that would be the best situation to do, is definitely to help your kids to put away so that they can get their own place. Another thing, like, that we probably haven't touched on too, like, when your kids go to move out in their own place, do worry about them. Like, even when my kids are out partying, I finally know those sleepless nights my parents had.
Yeah.
Who they're dating, like, are they good to them? Because I had a couple conversations with, potential boyfriends of theirs, like, you hurt my child, you already know what time it is.
Yeah.
I'm not playing with you. Like, look me in the eye. Like, you do know. This is the only time I'll hit felony status. You touch my child. Like, you worry about those things because, like, you were like a wild child and you were out there, and not everybody cares for your child like you do. And down here in Florida, we got some crazy people. They get rid of people and they never find them.
Yeah.
Like, even up to like older age group.
Mm-hmm.
They do not find them. And like, that is like my worst fear, is something happening to my child. I would lose my freaking mind. Like, you can like argue with your child and you guys be like, you know, at each other's throats, but at the end of the day, you carried them for 9 months. That's like my biggest fear, the whole separation, that part. Like, I want my kids by all means to get their own place, be successful, have their own families and stuff. But like, that whole, like, you wondering, are they going to make the best decisions? Because like, having them, I have not always made the best decisions. I have not always been like the model parent, you know, and you worry about that. Are they going to repeat my mistakes? Because honestly, I thought my mom was Mother Teresa, but she, like, learning from other like family members, she did make mistakes, and that's the whole thing. We all make mistakes, like, as parents. Like, by your second set, you hope you have it down. And like, my parents, they get the first set. Like, my older siblings said, our parents, they gave you the most. Well, you know what? Sometimes that happens because it takes a while to get where you need to be able to do that for your other kids. Like, it's not that they didn't want to do the same thing for the first kids, but I don't know. Like, I worry that they will like be successful and like have a good life. Like, I don't want their lives to be like cut short, because we live in like a dangerous time. People are dangerous. Like, they don't care about life. Like, life is not precious. But being a mother, you see it more. Like, you appreciate your mom more when you have kids. Because before, like, my mom, she'd stay at home mom. I just thought, oh, this lazy heifer. Like, and I didn't realize, Mom, I love you if you ever listen to this. But like, you don't like appreciate. I just thought like it was instilled to us, you're supposed to be super successful. Successful is like out there earning money just as much as your husband, whatever. Stay-at-home moms, they're not appreciated.
Yeah.
You know, and they do so much. It's another job. I never realized what my mother sacrificed, what she did, until I became a mother and had to do all those things. And it's even twice as hard when you don't have a partner, or you're in a relationship that your partner's still finding themselves and like trying to grow up. So you're still like kind of like filling those shoes, and it's a lot.
Yeah.
So I would recommend to any young woman, don't go ahead of yourself. Find yourself. Don't put yourself in that situation. But if you do get in that situation, don't beat yourself down. There's light at the end of the tunnel. You join those support groups. If you don't have family, rely on God, and you'll be all right. You'll make it. And learn to have lots and lots of patience, because children, lots and lots of patience. Like, when you're a true parent, you know what I mean.
Yes.
Lots and lots of patience.
Oh my God. I can't even, my kids are 3.5 and 16 months. And oh, Jesus. Yeah.
It's like, sometimes, like, even like when I had to do this interview, I was like, maybe I'll push it off, because like today I'm tired. I just want to like sleep in a bit, but I have to keep pushing myself to the limit. You have to keep pushing yourself, even when you don't want to get out of bed. Even when you have those sick days, you still have to push through. I've been at work sick as hell. Literally. They look at me and they're like, girl, you look bad today. Yeah, I didn't put that Fenty makeup on today, you know.
Yeah.
Put that concealer, because I have bags under my eyes. But I'm here. I'm trying to do my best and put on a good face. Like, sometimes, heck, your hair be a mess going to like drop your kid off at the daycare. I come in there looking dead, and then they see me come back looking much alive. I'm like, 2 different women. Who is this woman? Don't go back. Like, Hollywood makes it look like, yeah, you're gonna look, they looking good all the time. They have people. You're not gonna have people making you up. And I'm pretty sure the rest of them, Cardi B, whoever, Madonna, whoever's in your age group, they're gonna look like hell one of these mornings. Like just don't show us that. So give yourself grace, as you tell me. Like give yourself grace, even if you're going out there with rollers or you have your shirt inside out and you get to your job like, oh my God, or your kid like delays you throwing up in your car or whatever. I've had that happen. I worked for the radio station. My car, imagine this. I was like working for one of the radio stations in Orlando. My kid got sick and I had to take him over to my parents' house. Thank God for grandparents.
Yeah.
They threw up in my car on the way there.
Oh.
Okay, can't be late to work. I go drive all the way out to Orlando, and you know that hot Orlando weather. So you know what my car smelled like?
Oh my God. Just throw the car away.
Yes. And throw my only shirt that I had away. And I had the best boss. Keith, you're the best. Love you. He was like, girl, just take another shirt.
Oh my God.
But you're gonna have those days. Like absolutely, you will go back crazy, you'll be depressed, not want to live, whatever. Pick yourself up again, shake it off, keep it moving. You will live another day.
Yeah.
Like there's light.
Yeah.
And that's what I have to keep telling myself. So like everybody out there, pray for me for training, for flight attendant training again. This will be my second time.
Yeah, nice. What airline is it for? Can you say? No. You don't have to if you can't. I don't know if you're supposed to, if you can say that or not when you're training.
I'll give the people a hint. The Heart.
Okay.
Cohorts.
Yes. Yeah, my favorite.
Tell you, me and them, we share like a part of the name. We'll just say that. Like,
okay. Yes. Yes. So, that's my favorite. They're the realest flight attendants. I love it so much.
It is, but let me tell you, the PA announcements are killing a girl right now. They're killing me. Like, learning this. 39 years old, I'm like, I shouldn't have partied in my youth. Post the memorization. It's like killing me right now. But like I have my kids, they're like, Mom, I'm sick of you like going over this announcement. Like we're tired of it. I'm like, you do want to fly, right? I'm gonna fly you to like Paris. Like, yeah, we're gonna do all that. Japan, because my daughter, she wants to go to Japan. I'm all for it.
Nice.
I'm like, okay, let's do this. But like learning that is not easy. And on that airline, they actually do make it fun. It's a very good company. I love them like already.
Yeah.
Like, best airline ever. So if any of y'all single moms want to do that, they do give you a flexible schedule.
Oh, that's
so
great.
Be with your babies. That's what I like. I like a company that cares about their people. Like they don't like throw you away because you're a mother.
Well, that's so important. I recently was applying for a job and they were all for it. And they gave me the manager's email and I emailed the manager and it was going to be my first fitness job. And I wrote to them. I was like, well, I'm certified, but you know, I haven't worked in it yet because I had a kid and then COVID happened and then I had another kid. Yes. And now I'm able to get into it. Silence. Never messaged me back. And I can only assume that's why. Because I have kids and they would have to, you know, I would have to call out sometimes. I would have to move my schedule around. They don't want to deal with it, which is such bullshit because it's actually a woman-owned company. So I kind of want to know, like, I almost want to email them back and be like, hey, just checking up. I know it's been a while, but nobody ever emailed me back. Wanted to see, you know, did you guys fill the position? Or because like, it's a company that I actually cared a lot about and I used to use all the time. And I'm sure if the owner knew that that happened, if that's what happened, I'm not accusing, but it's just a little weird that after I mentioned kids, that's when it got silent.
And see, another thing, like we women, we need to like band together and make opportunities for other women.
Yeah. Because
it's not always easy out there. Yes. You know what? I don't even mention I have kids when I go into my interviews. Like they find out later. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, like in conversation, you have how many children? Yeah, and I'm still kicking ass. I'm still like working for you. I'm still doing what I have to do. Yes, I'm coming in sick, whatever. Like COVID really like it destroyed things like the radio industry. Oh my God, like because I did like promotions. I was working my way up trying to be on air.
Yeah.
Which is hard. I just did like my demo and COVID had to happen. Then I got pregnant.
Yeah.
So I was like trying to like figure out how that was going to work. But like after that, they pretty much laid us all off. The school, they didn't working as a substitute. They didn't want us there for a minute. And then like afterward, you'd be at the top of the list as a substitute teacher. They will work you. But it's hard because if you get sick, you have no benefits. So that's another thing. So you're out of work. You don't get no sick pay.
Oh,
So that's a strain with bills. Again, that's where the help agencies come in.
yeah.
it it really can hurt you. Like being a parent and you get sick. If you at least have like help, at least like your husband can like jump in or your partner, like you don't have to be like some people aren't like married or whatever, but if you have another person that's there that can like pick up the slack and that thing, it can help. But if you're like the only one and you get sick, yeah, that's going to be a problem for you. But I would say find a company that respects and like tell them like this is my situation. Some people will accommodate you, some people don't. If they don't, then maybe like that's not where you need to be.
Yeah.
Like now that hopefully successfully through training, I have a good feeling about this company. They're good people. I like them.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I mean, you're just like such a great side of this because, you hear the whole like stereotype of welfare. People on welfare don't want to work, they don't want to do anything. But here's you working your ass off to get any job you can to be able to support yourself and get out of that. And that is amazing to hear. And I feel like a lot of people need to hear this story because like I said, that is a stereotype, right? And it's like, well, here's somebody that, it works for, like, she needs it. Like, you needed it, but you're not sitting at home on your ass. You're working your ass off. You've had how many jobs? You're doing something with your life. And that is amazing to hear.
Thank you. And a lot of people, like, girls, get as much education as you can because knowledge is power. Do not let anybody put you down, make you feel bad. Like reach for the stars, retool, do whatever, reverse. Like Missy Elliott said, flip and reverse it, honey. Like anything that you can learn. Anything you can do. Now, wages are not going to keep up with pace. Okay. So even if you do get a job, you work 40 hours a week, that's not always going to pay your bills. You're still going to have like struggling problems, but just keep your head up. Keep your head up. Give yourself your flowers. Definitely. And have a good support system. Seek out other women who want to do stuff. Seek out any biz, like entrepreneur. Uplift yourself. Just keep your head up.
Well, thank you so much for this. Thank
You're
you, thank you,
welcome.
thank you.
Just wow. Wow. Single mothers, I keep saying this, are superwoman. Literally superwoman. The stuff that they do on their own. I have a really supportive partner, and I have times, of course, you guys all heard my mental breakdown, my postpartum depression, where I just feel like I can't do it anymore. And as a single mom, you just have to push through. It's like they find the strength in this place that a lot of us don't have. And it's truly beautiful. It's truly, truly beautiful. I recorded that interview on phones. I know the sound was a little messed up. I'm sorry about that. I'm still trying to get used to this whole sound thing. But thank you for listening to the Mama Jack podcast. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. What am I forgetting? Spotify, Apple Podcast, Anchor, and I'm going to start a Twitter soon as well. That should be interesting. Find me, connect with me. If you think you want to be on an episode, message me. I would love to hear from you. I hope everybody enjoyed today's podcast. Have a great day, everybody.